Hey you guys, it is William calling from Wiwibloggs, and Czechia have chosen Aiko for the Eurovision Song Contest 2024. Her song is Pedestal. Daban!
Hey you guys! Hey William!
Should we watch and react? Let's do this! You guys, Czechia's ESCZ 2024 took place on a weeknight, and your man has to get up at 5 a.m., so I was not watching, but I am happily going to be rewatching the live performance right now. I should say before we start that Aiko told Wiwiblogger Yu that she wrote this song when she was angry. She was in a relationship and she loved someone, and she thought that person loved her, and then she realized that they really didn't, and that she needs to put herself first. She needs to celebrate herself by putting herself on a pedestal. I'm sure all of you can relate to that. Looking forward to the anger. Hitting play. Okay, she's got some choreo.
These breathy vocals.
Is that from H&M?
There was a swear word there.
Ooh. I like the attitude. Like a female Franz Ferdinand. Okay.
Oh, I love the instrumentation. It's excellent.
Booty hypnotic. Oh.
I actually thought she said,
well, she is spirited.
F-bomb myself on a pedestal. This is the trouble with shouting when you're trying to sing.
This is animalistic. Yeah. I like the rage. Girl is giving me zebra. These stripes.
Sack the choreographer. Like now. There's a strong disconnect between what she's singing about, which is actually rather empowering.
I love these chords.
This writhing Sisters of the Harem choreography. I don't get it.
This progression is weirdly comforting. Did she say... I thought she cursed, but she didn't.
Amen to that, sister. Elevating my
kick
girl.
Kick it.
Put myself on a pedestal.
Oh, yeah. Dip it low.
That is how we roll.
Our girl has strong calves, strong quads. Bending it back.
Her jumpsuit
she is loving
is
herself.
Fire. Reminds me of what Keisha Buchanan from the Sugar Babes wore to the Brighton concert. Living, loving.
All right. Wow. Okay. There's a lot to talk about with this. I want to say that when it comes to self-love, a big part of that is self-care. And our girl needs to take care of her throat. Get some throat lozenges. Because it sounded like some of the screaming was impacting kind of the musicality. You can scream and be musical. We saw this with AWS from Hungary famously. Their lead vocalist, God rest his soul, was really good at sort of screaming, but making it musical. Whereas this, at times, our girl is just screaming. Now, I think part of this is that the national final is being staged, or rather was staged, inside a nightclub. And obviously a nightclub does not offer the acoustics, technical capability, etc. as a national selection, I don't know, in a TV studio or at Eurovision in an arena with decades of experience behind it. So we have to take this performance with a grain of salt because I don't think anyone in a club setting is going to come off as well as they would at Eurovision. I watched Jamala at GAY and she did sound good, but it's obviously it wasn't the same as at Eurovision. All of that to say, I'm trying to temper my statements. I like that Aiko has a concept. You get the rage, you get the anger. It's very Franz Ferdinand at times, those heavy guitars. It connotes, and she lives in Brighton, so maybe there's some British influence going on there. I don't know, I quite like this, but I also think it needs a lot of work. It needs a lot of work in terms of the performance. Aiko has a lot of ideas, but maybe it's like Coco Chanel said, when you leave the house, take something off. There's a lot going on, from the animalistic, deep squatting to the bending back to the anger to the high kicks to the women worshiping her body. Maybe those are the demons of her relationship tormenting her. I don't know. There's just a lot. And I think with a little bit of help, and they have the time, certainly, they've chosen in December, they can make this good. The song clocked in at what, 2:29, 2.5 minutes? So they got 30 seconds. They can add in more progression. They can add in a stronger bridge. They can give it more dynamism. Like, I view this song and performance as a demo. And with that in mind, I see great potential, because a demo is the starting point, not the final point.
Slaying. Oh, that was quick. But then, of course, it's 2 minutes and 19 seconds. 2 minutes and 19 seconds is good for a 3-minute pop concert because it gives you time to shape and to scope and to expand if need be. This song is excellent. What makes it excellent? The melody's on point, the structure is cute, I like the bass line, I like the opportunities for breathy vocals, and I like the opportunity to actually shift from empowerment. Put myself on a pedestal. Love me, love me, Lord, love me more. I like that. You can go from spoken word to a much softer tone. This song gives you that. Can I also shout out? I love Aiko. I've been following her career for quite some time. Expiration Date, which she dropped in, I believe it was just during Corona. Fierce, fabulous, great album. With the song, actually there were many songs on it that I like. Hunt particularly stands out. And more recently, she's released Fortune's Child, which I think is another excellent body of work. So in terms of credibility as an artist, I think she's great. She's got, I believe, Russian, Ukrainian. She actually lives in London, but she's also got Czech roots because, she's lived there for quite some time and she speaks the language fluently. So building bridges, crossing borders, there is not much to dislike about that. Pedestal is very much a demo track. Okay, so I didn't tune into the Czech pre-selection because I was traveling at the time. So I'm not comparing this to what else has featured in it. I'm just looking at this as a standalone, and this is genuinely a first reaction. So I've not heard or seen this, but I think this is an excellent demo. It's not perfected, it's not finished, but there's a lot here that I really love. And I actually think it's a really strong entry. The trouble with Eurovision, right? The Eurovision approach is, we'll get a very average, crappy song, and then we'll bells and whistles it, yeah? Staging, production, music video, choreography, LED. You know what? I'm not so sure I'm in agreement with that style. What we have here is an excellent song. But the other auxiliary parts are not quite there yet. But I think that if your base product, which is the song, yeah, it's called Eurovision Song Contest. Hello, aliens calling, everybody in the fandom. Eurovision Song Contest, and you've got a really good song. I think this will only go up. This will elevate. First of all, they need to bring it up to 3 minutes, so you expect a revamp at some point. And if you tweak this right, Aiko, you also need to go get a vocal coach, because you know what? You cannot Janet Jackson from start to finish. This song calls for vocal range, and those vocals need to be perfected. But she is an excellent star. She is very charismatic. She's very lovable. And she's credible, right? She's got at least 3 albums. Great work. And she's a great visual artist. She can work with this.
I think a lot of people have freaked out, like, oh my God, it's over. And I'm going to read you some of those comments actually right now. But I just want to say, this is the beginning of her Eurovision journey, not the end. So we need to hold our horses, because The journey Domi with We Are Domi went on was beautiful. Like at the pre-parties, a little shaky, a little wobbly. Then by the time she got to Torino, Domi killed it. The staging looked fantastic and they made the final. So they were like third in their semi. So as head of press Ahmed said, hold your horses before you cast judgment. And hey, I'm gonna listen to that. Because in the past, they have really elevated when they got to Eurovision. But I'm still gonna read these comments because the readers need to be heard. These are from the Wiwibloggs website. Vivian says, this really wouldn't have been my pick, but congrats to Aiko. The performance needs a lot of work, but we said the same about Vesna last year, and they finished top 10. With a potential revamp and improved vocals, this could still surprise people. Paz says, well, we can only be pleasantly surprised by the actual ESC performance. Hopefully it can't get worse than the one in the national final. Anna Karenina says, damn, the Czech Republic had been sending really good stuff in the past few years. Such a shame that's not the case this year. I don't see how this is going to qualify unless the other songs in their semi are equally bad. Ephraim says, I'm hearing the song for the first time as I write this comment, and for now, I'm not quite feeling it. Czechia has sent much better stuff these past years. I should point out, these were the most voted up comments on the website. So I've not taken them at random, I've taken the most popular comments, which tends to denote what most people are thinking. Teddy writes, I don't know how bad other songs will have to be for this to qualify. This sounds cheap and I think it will be cemented in a very bottom of its semi. Gojo Satoru says, am I the only one getting Delia vibes from Aiko? Aiko is of course her own unique self, but still. I kind of see Iceland 2023 like in the face and they're blonde, but like beyond that, no. Ari says, okay, I listened to the studio version and this isn't so bad. I'm guessing she'll have to change the word BS because the EBU won't allow it, which is a shame. 2 Malma songs are out now, and out of those, Czechia is my clear winner so far, so I guess that's something. Joe says, female pop rock is a tough sell at Eurovision. It has strong staging potential, though. I agree with this, actually. On the first point, I remember Ireland 2009, Sinead Mulvey and the Black Daisy, or Black Daisy and Sinead Mulvey. I loved that, and then they didn't make it. I think female pop rock is a tough sell. However, this has great potential, as Joe says. I think that Aiko has so much energy and so much life in her that she can do very well on a bigger stage. In that interview she gave with our Yu in Prague before, or just after the performance, but before the results, you see a very lively woman, full of life, full of energy. And she's very articulate, and that makes me look forward to the stage show even more. And a final comment, this is voila, monsieur. This is actually the most voted comment on the post. They write, the song may be good based on the studio version, but that live performance was absolutely dreadful. Unless she drastically improves her live vocals from Alma, this is a non-qualifier.
I'm really, really excited for this. Points that worry me. The choreography, I'm sorry. If this song is about putting yourself on a pedestal and loving yourself more, why do you need those Sisters of Mercy kind of showing off their wares on stage? Please, nobody needs that. It's not empowering, it's not affirming, and it doesn't communicate love, self-empowerment, women's empowerment. And, there's a line in the song that goes, I finally learned not to force things. Well, that choreography feels really forced. So I say, give the dancers their paychecks. Thank you very much. ESCZ. We are through to the next round, but your services are no longer required. And just work with lighting and work with props and create a sense of elevation. Put myself on a pedestal and then you're rising on a plinth. That is effective. That is effective. You don't need backup dancers. Eurovision, my God. When there's a requirement for backup dancers, my girl shows up solo. Yani Terzi. Vroom. Vroom. And when you don't need backup dancers, you bring 5. Please, we don't need dancers for this. This is all about a sense of elevation, a sense of self-improvement. Yeah, you can communicate it solo. And I love Aiko. I love how she looks. I think she's really cool. She's very contemporary. Love all the piercings. Love all the two-tone hair. Like, everything about this star, to me, ticks all the boxes. And you know what? Even some of our greatest stars today if you go and look at their earlier work, they've journeyed through the process. I think people really need to be careful with their criticism here. And sometimes you don't want to, sometimes you want to grow, right? Even what, goodness, how, we're not even in 2024 and Eurovision is in May 2024. There's a lot of time to tweak this. There's a lot of time to perfect this. And there's a lot of time to give you a different interpretation of this. Will Czech make it to the final? Yeah, there's a strong chance of it. This is an excellent song. And yeah, I'm standing by my word on it. Yes, put myself on a pedestal. Yeah, this is about celebrating your own victory. This is about being your own miracle.
Well, look, she's got time. And I think that when you're performing in a club, the tendency is to maybe be less controlled. I think in the big arena, a TV situation with weeks of practice, you know what? Aiko's going to improve. Aiko's going to improve. Well, that's what we think. What do you think? What suggestions do you have for the Czech delegation? Do you love the studio cut? What changes would you like to see for the live performance? Let us know here on Wiwibloggs.
Aiko, is she on Pinterest? Because if she ain't, she ought to be. And while you're at it, follow Wiwibloggs on Pinterest. And we will see you later.
And we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.